Shalom, this week's Sedra is Sedra Korach. How much influence can one person have on another person? The answer to this question has puzzled psychologists and behaviorists for centuries. Clergy and teachers go into their professions in order to influence their congregants and students. Parents strive each and every day to do the right thing in order to influence their children to act properly and grow up the right way. In this week's Torah portion, we learn an important lesson about the influence that one person can have on another. In this week's Torah portion, we read about Moshe threatening Korach with divine punishment if he keeps rebelling. And Hashem recorded the following: "Scarcely had they finished speaking all these words when the ground under them burst asunder, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up with their households. All of Korach's people and all their possessions. They went down alive into Sheol with all that belonged to them. The earth closed over them, and they vanished from the midst of the congregation." Ramban explained that when Hashem described the people that were swallowed up as all of Korach's people and all their possessions, Hashem was explaining that Korach had acquired non-Jewish slaves and had as members of his household Egyptians, Ethiopians, and Canaanites. These were slaves he paid for. These people were punished because they were part of their possessions. For Korach's family and followers were punished both personally and in their belongings. The Ramban continued and said perhaps there were also Israelites as sojourners and residents in Korach's house, and they were influenced by his counsel and were therefore punished with Korach. But the pasuk of all of Korach's people cannot refer to his children, because it's written, "But the children of Korach did not die, because they were adults, righteous, and good men, and their merits stood in their stead, so that they were not swept away with their father." He had no young sons and daughters, since the Torah does not mention little ones in the case of Korach. The idea that Korach's people means people he influences recalls the description of Avram when he was moving to Canaan. Hashem said to Avram, "Go forth from your native land and from your father's house to the land that I will show you." Avram went forth as Hashem had commanded him, and Lot went with him. Avram was 75 years old when he left Haran. Avram took his wife Sarai and his brother's sons Lot and all the wealth that they had amassed and the persons that they had acquired in Haran, and they set out for the land of Canaan. In his commentary on the phrase, "the persons that they had acquired in Haran," Rashi wrote that the people which he had brought beneath the sheltering wings of the Shekhinah, meaning that he had brought them to understand and follow God. Rashi explained that Avram converted the men and Sarah converted the women. And Hashem recorded the pasuk to teach that it was as if Avram had made these people. Rashi went on to explain that, however, the literal sense of the text is that it refers to manservants, to the maidservants whom they had acquired for themselves. The juxtaposition of Korach and Avram's people teaches a lesson about the influence that one person can have on another if they're sufficiently charismatic and talented. People tend to lend themselves to being influenced by others. Talented people can use their charisma to influence people in a good way, as Avram did, or in a bad way, like Korach did. Clergy, teachers, and parents must put their energies into influencing people the right way. What an important lesson. Shabbat Shalom.